The Switch. And there are some pet peeves, things that I didn't love. I love the cover. This cover is the only reason why I won't give away this book.
Let me interrupt me right here.
And we reached February. This is the second book for the challenge. Don't mind me, I'm super late on the various books that I've chosen, but this is the one for month 2, A Name in History by Hilary Baptiste. This one is the one for the debut author. This is the card associated with it, and I can't wait to read it. When I went to the meeting with the author, when she was presenting the book that it just came out, it was wonderful because she read the first chapter and I found that she had a way of describing things that was very good, very inventive, very much fun. So I'm so thrilled to get into this one. Let's go, let's get to the reading. And I think for the review, we might want a change of makeup. Let's do it. I recently finished this book. I started it, I think, in February, and I went on with it now. Better late than never, I would say. So if you're stuck at a certain point, know that that's okay. It happens to everyone. But what to say about this book? I find the story very interesting. It's a story about Ella, and this woman is going through an attic and she finds a shell that has a name engraved on it and a location, and then from that she starts a research into the past of her family and uncovers ugly truths about slavery and abuse and really horrific things. So she starts this travel into the Jamaican plantations and Grenada and goes there to ask her family anything that they can recall for her about her past to allow her to reconstruct what happened. I found the writing of this novel was really incredible. The author, which is Hilary Baptiste, she studied at my university, and I got an autograph and dedication here because I met her and I also saw her running at an event that I did. We didn't meet because I lost her after 2 seconds, but it was really cool. I'm gonna read you a little extract. The attack was cold, damp smelling, and full of cobwebs, a sure sign that Ella's enemy spiders were nearby. She stamped on a large cardboard box, opened it, and carefully laid the flattened remains on the dusty floor. She always had to prepare for the onslaught of creepy crawlies, and the moat of cardboard made an excellent early warning system, meaning she'd be able to spot them long before they got to her. Ella's older sister, Peach, her name was Melba, but you know how that's going to end, told her the spiders could smell her fear, saying, "That's why they bother you so." Just for this, it deserves to be read because it's really beautifully descripted, beautifully written, and I really love the style of writing. It reflects on important themes of history, what history we are being taught, and what history we do know. I feel that this would be a book that is relevant and interesting for English audiences because it reflects on what English students are taught in school, what history is to them, and what it means. And overall, I found that I could not completely relate to that because I was not taught the history of England or a history of America. Just by a very broad sense I got what that was, but not really in depth because I come from an Italian school and I also did an international school, and in there it was mostly a generalized thing. It didn't go in depth of any of those histories because I don't come from England or America, so I know that that plays much more a part if you come from those school systems, what you have been taught, what you have learned, and how that shapes how you view the word. It touches on the fact that there are so many names in history that haven't been spoken about, and there are only some stories that get told and not every story, and even the stories that get told are told from a perspective that makes the people that are being narrated about look as the winners and the people to be praised. So of course that is something to keep in mind. My overall reflection about it was just that of course we should try to have as much of an in-depth narration of history and the bad things that happen in history for us to not repeat it, and we get taught about the Holocaust. Every part of the world should come to terms with the horrors that are in their past and to see what lays beyond the mask in the case of slavery, because in this story it shows how hard it is for Ella to get to know things, talk to people about things, because no one wants to talk about it. So to really unveil the mask on those subjects and try to speak about them more and acknowledge them more. I gave this book 4 stars because I feel that the overall development was maybe a bit too slow in certain parts, but really it was a minor thing. I think that it's beautiful and precious, the reactions that Ella has to all of the things that are told to her about her past, her family, and the horrors that they went through. And I also found very hard to empathize with the character, not because her story wasn't tragic, but because her reactions to me were very foreign. So for example, hearing about the horrors and crying because it's a family thing and it touches her so deeply. I don't know if I've been completely desensitized by the media, by things that we constantly watch, by everything that surrounds us. Especially at the end, it made me reflect when she is contacted by the later descendants of the plantation owners and she deletes the email. It really made me think that you reap what you sow, because when it comes down to those horrific things, the people in the present might not be as horrific as the people in the past. They might not withhold the same ideals, they might not be agreeing to anything that happened in the past, but they have that past anyway. So if you come from a horrific past, you will have that in you, and if you come from a past of being an oppressor, you will have that in you. Recently I watched a lot of World War II related content, and it really made me think that even though the descendants of the Nazis might not be as horrific as their ancestors, they still have that on them, and that is never going to be taken away. And it's important to acknowledge that. The reaction at the end made me think that that might open this book up for a sequel, because after having uncovered all of the horrors of the past, showing us maybe how to deal with that in the present would be very, very interesting. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. And I had some reflections on the beginning. I underlined this scene, that is when her mom first saw her in it, she asked why she didn't wear her nice dresses anymore. Even though Ella was now in her 40s, her mom still insisted on little digs: her choice of clothes, hairstyle and shoes, where she lived, the items of her home and the friends she had. It was something she was used to but wished she didn't have to be. Her mom was so disappointed that her 2 daughters preferred pants to nice shirts and lady dresses. I've heard this today twice already, that there is a bit of a cultural shift towards notions of femininity, what femininity means, and as a woman being drawn to feminine things, and a revival of what it means to be feminine, dressing in feminine ways. And to that, I would say that it's sad that that's some people's experience, but at the same time they shouldn't be bothered by that much. I understand if the mother, and that makes it relevant to her personally, but at the same time people will always criticize, and being a tomboy, being someone that is more comfortable in baggy clothing or wide things, trousers, I think is something that it's fair and square. Just do it. Clothes don't hurt. And I personally, when I do dress for myself, in my room, I'm always wearing baggy clothes, normally my boyfriend's clothes, baggy trousers. That's what I like to wear. They're comfortable. I don't care to look feminine or pretty. I just care to be comfortable in them. I just don't see that as an incredible threat. I think people should be able to dress as they wish. It doesn't say anything about them. So I would definitely recommend this book for the quality of writing, which was insane, but of course the topic is super important to look upon and tackle. So if you are interested in that kind of story, I highly suggest you pick it up. It's a new author. Definitely yes, I am completely sold. Hilary Baptiste, if she comes out with anything else, I'll be getting that. It really deserves a chance to be read, so pick that up. So I hope that you enjoyed this review. If you will decide to read the book, or if you've read it, you will comment down below and you will tell me also other books that you've read or other books that you have enjoyed recently, and let me know anything you want me to know down in the comments below. Let's chit chat and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye guys!